What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, good people? How you guys doing out there in them social media streets? It's going down. It's going down. Welcome to America's favorite, and I do mean favorite podcast about textured hair. That's right. We're talking about the dumbest shit that people say about black hair. We are on our 70, is it 74th, 75th? I kind of forgot. What is it? Oh my
Yes,
God. I think it's 74th. Okay. It might be our 74th, but I'll get it right. I'll get it right. What's up, Luana? I see you in the chat. So welcome to our 74th or 75th episode of the dumbest hoo-hoo that people say about black hair. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, y'all, we got some funky, dope stuff for y'all tonight. That's right. Tonight's episode is all about spirituality and hair. We're going to be talking about 9 ether hair. Woo-hoo-hoo. I've been waiting for this all my life. All my life, I've been waiting to talk about 9 ether hair. We're also going to discuss religion and hair. What does the Bible say about braids and hair, cutting hair? I know all that stuff. What about metaphysics? You know, Reiki and crystals. I was trying to find my I usually have some crystals around here, but for some reason I can't find any. But what about crystals and hair? Okay, so we're going to talk about this this evening. So get y'all questions ready. In the meantime, I see Danny is in the chat. Danny, you know I call my hair when I know you coming through. So it's always nice to see Las Vegas' most illustrious barber. We're talking about Danny Michael. Of course, I'm his #1 fan, his #1 girl crush. He has no choice. Ain't nothing you can do about Danny. Just know, if don't nobody in this world like your sexy ass, guess what? I do. That's right. So it's no secret that I have a crush on Danny. It's always going down. Hey, what's going on, Miss Sandra? Our virtual host. Is always so wonderful to see you in the chat. We're going to play our famous theme song. Is by the one and only Miss Rachel Evans. She's talking about Sister, Let Me Do Your Hair. So you guys, push your earbuds in or get your sound just right. Get your Kool-Aid ready in your favorite cup as we let some more people come to the chat with Rachel Evans' Sister, Let Me Do Your Hair. And don't forget, guys, you can buy this music and let's support, our indie artists. Okay, so here we go. Sister, Let Me Do Your Hair. I won't make a good DJ. I think that but I'm a hairstylist. So what's your superpower? While we're waiting, y'all type y'all superpower in the chat. I'm gonna go ahead on and type mine while we let some Rachel Evans come through. Let me just drop our little image up. And you guys drop your superpower in the chat. We need to know who we're dealing with tonight, okay, Cheryl?
Yep.
All right. Let me do your hair. What's up? Come on in and have a seat. Come on in. Hey, what's up, YouTube? What's up, Facebook? We see y'all. Come on in, LinkedIn. Get in where you fit in. Hey, where lunch is back there? Y'all should be singing this song now. Y'all know the words. Come on. Let me do your hair. At least you know the hook. Ain't that right, Cheryl? Let me do your hair. We love this song. We love it so much. Ah, here come the sexy saxophone. Hey. Ooh. It's cold in Cleveland. That means listen to some jazz and get your snuggle bunny on. Let me do your hair. Let me do your hair. All right now. Let me do your hair. Let us do your hair. Come on, we're just some hairstylists. Who cares? All right. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming into the chat. That's right. You are watching or listening to, maybe you're not watching us, maybe you're listening to us. This is America's favorite podcast about hair. We're talking the dumbest shit that people say about black hair. And I am your host, LaDosha Wright, aka Key Lolo. And then right over here, whoops, y'all know who that is, right? That is Cheryl Morrow, the Hair Oracle. Now, if you want to know more about the origins of the word Hair Oracle and how Cheryl affectionately got her AKA, you're going to have to join us this Thursday over on Planet Pluto Pseudo. That's right. We're going to be talking about the role of distributors and those representatives who come into the hair salon. Do we need them or should they go take a hike? I like my hair distributors, but we're going to have a little bit more conversations. Now, remember, the podcast on Thursday is pretty much geared towards the licensed professionals and your hair aficionados. So if you're not a hair care junkie, you might be bored. But in the meantime, stay right here with us as we discuss today. We're going to be talking about, again, spirituality in hair with emphasis around 3 subjects. We're talking 9 ether hair, right? The Bible. What does the Bible have to say about like braiding hair and all that cool stuff? Also, metaphysics, Reiki and, all the energy and the crystals and all that good stuff. Shan, pass me some crystals. I know we have some back there somewhere. So my brother's going to grab it because we have crystals in our salon. I ain't going to tell no lie. I like them crystals. I don't know if it works, but I do. I like crystals. But anywho, so Cheryl's going to get us together a little bit more. But, we always have our current events. So what's going on, Michelle? Welcome. Let's give those super duper shout outs. We have our virtual host, Sandra E. It's always lovely to see your name drop through. When I don't see your name, I start to get a little nervous. Where's Sandra? Okay, Luana, you're always first in the chat. So if I don't see LB, I'm like, oh, Cheryl, we done lost somebody. And of course, Danny Michael, I got the super big fat crush on you. It was so nice to meet you in person here at the very first Afro Hair Summit. So, which by the way, we're going to be showing a little slideshow, and Cheryl is going to talk about the 4 topics. And so it's going down on Monday, October the 23rd, in Toledo, Ohio, at Powell's Barber and Beauty Supply. And yes, tickets are on sale, but you know what? We're starting to get some more sales come through. So come on and get your tickets because this is not a very large class, but Cheryl is going to be there nonetheless to get us going. So first things first, we would just be kind of bootleggy if we did not talk about, the war that's happening in Israel. That seems to be consuming all of the media. I don't know much about Israel or Hamas. Do you know anything about them, Cheryl?
Just the study in how it has integrated into, my life. just other than dealing with, I guess, in terms of how it correlates to Black people. But they're going to have a fight on their hands until the end, until they give the majority of the land to the majority of the people.
Oh, well, I don't know if Israel's got a share or Gaza's got a share, but y'all know what? I'm going to say it like Edwin. War! Yeah, 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 y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing now. Come on now. Who the hell warring in 2023? Just cut it out. Nobody got time to be. You got to fall in love. Anyway, can we all just get along? I think Rodney King just kind of summed it up. Guys, come on. What we warring for? Y'all just cut it out. We just, oh, what the world needs now is love, sweet love.
They're not doing that.
It's the only thing that there's just too little of. Y'all, what y'all know about Carly Simon? Y'all ain't old enough. Y'all don't know it. Did she sing that, right? That is Carly Simon, right?
Well, Diana Ross.
Diana Ross sang it first.
She made it famous.
Oh, she made. Oh, see, I must. Oh, my ghetto card that got me for. God dang nabbit. I know the Carly Simon version. I did not know. I know Diana Ross did. Did you know where we're going to?
No, Diana Ross did Reach Out and Touch.
Oh, she did Reach Out and Touch, but this one is about what the world needs now is love, sweet love.
Well, it kind of dovetailed into.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. What's up, Chris?
I think that was Burt Bacharach. What the world needs. I don't know.
Oh, anyhow, that is what the world needs now. The world needs love, sweet love. But you know what? It's some love right here. Look at me and Cheryl. Come on, Cheryl, put your hand out. Don't we look like love? I mean, it's energy. Don't y'all feel the energy emanating from your screen? Don't y'all feel the love? Look at my teeth. Look at that smile. Come on now. All right. So, anywho, Diana Ross made it famous. Carly Simon's song was "You're So Vain." I bet you think this song is about you, don't you? Oh, I love that shit. Oh, I used the 70s. Oh, I love that music. Anywho, so we don't want any war in Israel and Palestine. Y'all need to just stop it, okay? Y'all, I'm gonna tell you why they warn. You know, y'all want to know why they warn? Cheryl ain't saying nothing. She like, I'm scared.
I'm just not that.
I'm gonna tell you right now why they warn, because they mamas ain't beat their ass. You know what I'm saying? If your mama spank you, you wouldn't be messing around out here picking fights with people. Because parents don't play that. They're like, hey, cut that out. The world don't evolve around you. We all had that spanking in our lives. Stop that. You know, you gotta share. So Palestine and Israel, come on, guys. Let's stop warring. Putin. Your name you need to stop with that last name. Now, come on. In America, Putin means something that you just don't even want to know. So, Putin, you need to stop that, okay? So, I'm just saying, what's going on, Armadillo? I hope I'm saying that right. Am I saying it right, Armadillo? Okay. All right. Next up, our next current event is House Bill 89. We're still in Ohio, trying to, hold it down to make sure they do not lower the standards of education here in cosmetology and barbering. We ain't having it. So I've been down there. I gave my testimony. I'll go ahead on and drop it in the chat. Once we're done with the live, in case you guys want to hear what I had to say. I didn't do too good, Cheryl, because I had ran up 3 flights of stairs and I was out of breath, but I tried very, very hard. But anywho, Cheryl and I have not made it a secret, but we are working collaboratively with Ohio State Representative Elliot Forehand to introduce a bill for curly hair science to be taught in the state of Ohio. So we are cosmetologists working on a different level on the other side. We know a lot of you guys think all we do is hair, okay, and all that kind, right? Teach. But as you can see, Cheryl and I, we don't just teach and do hair, but we also are what Cheryl calls consumer advocates, and we definitely advocate for the barber and beauty industry when it comes to education. So we are proud to share that with you guys. But we are still working on House Bill 89 in case you guys want to know what is the status of that bill. Has it passed? So far, you know what they say, no news is what?
Good news.
All right. So far, nothing's happening there. But in the meantime, before we hop into the topic, we do have, I have the slides. Cheryl emailed me the slides, and I finally figured out, Cheryl, how to do that slideshow. Remember, y'all didn't type y'all superpower in the chat. Come on, Chris and Sandra. I put my superpower was writing, even though I think I spelled it wrong. But drop your superpower in the chat. What is your superpower, Sandra, Lawana? Sure, what's your superpower?
Knowing shit.
You said what?
Knowing shit.
Oh, she said, "Oh, excuse us, Kilana." That's a superpower to have. So you guys drop your superpower in the chat. If you are watching this post the live, please take a moment out to drop your superpower in the chat so we can know what type of force that we have working with us as we help to change the narrative about, hair. So with that being said, sure, I'm going to go ahead on and, you sent me some slides here. There are 4 topics that Cheryl is going to be teaching on Monday, October the 23rd. Remember, that's at Powell's Barber and Beauty Supply located in Toledo. Okay, so Cheryl's going to be teaching on these topics. So in case you're wondering, all right, Lawana, somebody else likes to write. That's what I'm talking about. I write a song for you. You write a song for me. Sure, I ain't gonna do that part. Sure, like you bet not do it, but I can't help it. Oh, we write a song for that. I can't say that part. But anywho, yes, right. But in the meantime, sure, let's talk about, these topics. So we have 4 topics that we're going to teach on. I'm going to do the slideshow. And then after we're done, because some people are like, well, why did you pick those topics? Maybe you could share with our viewers, why those topics are important to you and how you customized them and came up with that. So I'm going to go ahead on and get started, and you guys can take some notes. Now the writing is in blue, so it's a little bit hard to read, but Cheryl has her notes right there actively with her, so she can kind of walk us through. And sure, I'll just do the intro on each one, okay? All right, so here we go. Let's get it going. All right, there we go. Ooh, look at us, Cheryl. We cute. All right. So the first question people want to know, Cheryl, is what are they going to learn at the Afro Hair Summit?
They're going to learn 4 different categories. And let me just say this. I think the last Afro Hair Summit in Cleveland, I think the courses were just slightly different, but I think a repeat is the coil mechanics, and
Hold on, let me get that.
a little bit of, I guess, the hair loss. But in other words, just to and hair loss.
Want me to go back to coil mechanics?
Just slightly, just so they'll know what coil mechanics is.
Okay, here we go. Coil mechanics.
Right, and that is understanding the dynamics of hair, not just in terms of the medulla and cortex and cuticle, but to understand the very nature of coils as it is in the whole biosphere. Coils are nature's blueprint and how it defines its first choice. That is the preeminent blueprint for nature. And this particular course delivers why, how, and then how to properly manipulate it, rearrange it, enhance it for its better health and well-being. And how that encompasses culture as well. And so, and because we don't, we put, style in front of everything over the science and the how, this coil mechanics definitely dives deeper into that how and
Yeah,
why.
I think that when it comes to, education about hair, I think right now the industry is a little bit oversaturated with the same. I mean, how many times can we talk about how to apply that damn relaxer? You know what I'm saying? It's great for people who are new and not entering it, but after a while, you're right. We do want to kind of move past, hairstyling. Okay. Here's the next topic you're going to be talking about, and that's hair loss. Why hair loss, and what about hair loss?
I think that we always talk about hair loss in its finality, and but hair loss is usually a scalp issue or a pH issue, and so I allow us to talk about some of the cosmetic aspects, how when it gets into the systemic aspects, how we can join other professionals such as endocrinologists and OBGYNs, talk about nutrition. However, when they come to cosmetic induced, okay, something that you can help treat, we talk about those set of arrangements so we can get the customer and get paid for the recovery and the prevention and and problem solving in hair loss.
Yeah, that hair loss has become so generic,
Yeah.
um, that it's almost unaddressed, that
Hmm.
nobody is able to really offer many solutions. It always sounds good in the conversation and in the selling of the products, but to be able to give us more understanding, better conversation by way of consultations, I think that, barbers in particular would definitely love this, and for sure hairstylists. So equal, both professions would benefit from it. For sure your natural hairstylist, because they're getting blamed for everything now. Your braid too
Right.
tight, your pull too tight.
Right.
First it
And,
was hair
and it's,
relaxers.
yeah, and there's now conditions that the facial conditions for men of color are still prevalent. And since Dr. Morrow taught it in the military, no one has ever really peeled back those particular layers. But now that the beards have been in vogue for the last 10 years, fungus and bacteria and things are not addressed on the face and chin of especially black men.
Wow. Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, and then your third topic is technology of the future. I think this one people might be kind of like, well, ain't no future in hair. So, what do you say to that one?
Well, and increasing, and if we want to stay in this industry and in the sector of the salon, which I think is one of the most profitable sectors, there are things that we can talk about and how to create futuristic systems, right? And employ technology that could really improve our money generation as we move into the sophomore and junior and senior years of our career. What can we
Mhm.
use and employ to make our lives easier? Because of course the influencer beat the actual professional at the social media technology and the platforms of the internet, and so we can't afford to be uh, on the fringe. We need to be right there in the epicenter of technology.
Right. And today's discussion about nine ether hair, spirituality, crystals, Reiki, we are hearing these conversations come through the hair salon a lot. And so it's nice to be able to have this discussion because people don't think it comes up, but it actually does. Mark's M, he made a comment. He said scarring alopecia. I'm not quite sure. I don't know what this means, Marks, but I'm going to show it anyway. He says CCCA is heartbreaking. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's that's centrifugal cicatricial alopecia.
Are you going to talk about that one too?
Well, that is one of, but it's not centered because by the time the scalp scars, that is a systemic issue. That's not a cosmetic cause. There could be a cosmetic cause, but as professionals and as specialists and as trichologists, and if you guys want to peel off into that specialty, than we do it from black scalps, um, and issues that would be akin to Afro curly hair and Afro skin as it begins to CCCA out or scar, or what they call sclerosis, or sarcoidosis, or any other autoimmune issue that begins to for the scalp to start scarring. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mark. You're pretty smart. I don't know a thing about CCC. I thought that was a special at TJ Maxx, but anywho, this is why education is so important, because there's so much to learn. As you can see, some people have a lot more information than others. I'm not familiar with that at all, but yet I have my cosmetology license. And then, like Cheryl said, part of being an expert is that you don't have to know everything. But when you come to the Afro Hair Science Summit in Toledo on Monday, October the 23rd, you'll get an opportunity to go a little bit more into hair loss. And like she said, she can break down that CCCA so we can all know what Mark is talking about. So thank you so much, Mark, for bringing that up. And by the way, remember, if there are things that you would like for Cheryl and I to discuss, feel free to drop that in the chat, or you can email me at ladoshaw@yahoo.com, and we will have right on it and dedicate the show to you. Now, the last slide is kind of yields into what we're talking about now, are the natural hair myths. Like, is this really important to be a part of an educational component for licensed professionals? I mean, some people might be like, really, Cheryl?
Hmm. Yeah. And I think it's important that cosmetologists and barbers really up their game at this point, and become, in their chairs, not only just be a place for styling, but a place for consultations, and to be able to use their salons for talks and workshops. And
Wow.
so, and this is where the rubber hits the road, because this is where we defeat the number one thing that threatens well-being and self-esteem and confidence, is an array of disinformation and misinformation. And we are the professionals, so we must debunk and correct and pour into science, and to be able to say what is true, what is falsehood, and what is an other. Like the doppelganger book that you show us on Thursday nights. And
Mm,
so that is what this particular class is extremely important, that we get every myth addressed,
mm,
and
mm.
what does science say about it, and how do we get it corrected, even history, time periods, chronological, dress codes, Crown Act. This is the class to get that all dealt with.
All right, that's pretty intense. And Amadia, I'm going to put yours up in a minute, but I just kind of want to go back through the slides right quick, just to get you guys going. So number one, what you're going to learn for certain, you're going to learn a lot about coil mechanics. Second, for sure, you're going to be talking about hair loss. And of course, technology and the future of hair. And then last but not least, your natural hair myths. Cheryl says this is very important for us, in the barber and beauty industry, to know about these things. Now, Cheryl, can you share with us how did you customize this, or how are you on the post? I like to use that word because those topics, they are on the pulse of the industry. So how did you come up with this to cover, because this is definitely content heavy.
Yeah. Well, since this is a smaller private professional group, and we can devote a half a day, about 6 hours, and we can sit down and really discuss and take notes and really interact with each other. And so, coil mechanics, to finally get these really down good skills that actually are germane to coiled textured hair. Okay. And so that we can become real, true masters of texture, right? And then hair loss, because there are myths. Again, there's myths in everything. If you notice, there's myths in every sector of our summit. But hair loss, especially, is so damaging to the psychological and emotional self of the person, we can't afford to really get that information right. And so we deal with how it starts, how it begins, how to prevent it, how to, preserve and recover, and what is wound healing, and how do we really get in there and help the medical dermatology and the endocrine if it's hormonal, and if it's nutritional. And usually we should be versed on that. And then, of course, the technology, we can't afford to be behind. This is probably the second most important, because we need to be involved in technology, software, and hardware, designing prototypes, getting in to what the future is going to look like in the practicing of the arts of beauty in sciences. And then lastly, of course, the myths, which will keep us on our game, keep our information fresh, keep us a top scholar, and make sure that we are informing our communities and our customers and clients, and making sure that they don't have any foreign information that could prevent them from working in their best interest and making mistakes and then coming back for us and solve them. And so that's why I chose them. Yeah.
Right. Well, this is really, really important, to you guys, the consumer, because when you come into the hair salon and you have these issues with your hair, and some of the stuff, some people really do turn to social media for answers. Well, you know what? Now I'm just going to speak for myself personally. I felt like in my career, I've never really had a dip, but I did have a challenge. And the challenge that social media brought to me, it really caught me off guard, where I was not prepared. And every time someone would come to me with a picture or a conversation or a comment or even a clip about hair, I mean, my response was always like, I can't believe y'all believe that. And you know what? Now I can see how, because we're not meeting their needs. And one of the things that I like about this subject matter that you're going to be offering in the Afro Hair Summit is that we can't say that anymore, because that won't work. I mean, when a customer comes to you with, I'm using rice water on my hair, or I'm using vinegar and water, or I'm making my own conditioner with avocado and carrots and applesauce, and we're like, don't be doing that. Here we get a chance to circumvent and basically prevent. So can you just speak to that a little bit more before we get into the subject matter about what that does to a customer when you just kind of poo-poo, because they're going to social media because we are not on the pulse of what they're looking for. So can you just kind of speak to why it's not good to just kind of shoo away, because they're serious out here. These customers is not playing, going on YouTube trying to get the answers to their hair.
Right. You just engage them. And I'm not talking to patronize them, but I'm saying at least try to first ask where they got it from. Okay. And then ask them what attracted to them to the information, and what problem, like what do you want that information to do for you? And then, of course, you oppose and propose, not oppose, but propose a slight different angle and perspective on it. Have it make sense to them. Have it make a ring of truth. And if you have a different truth, and if you don't, tell them as a professional, all experts don't know everything. So you have to say, let me research that. There's something to think about. Let me think about that, and I'll get back to you.
Right. And this is why we need to come to the classes, because you just pointed out it's not good enough to just kind of say, I can't believe you. Because that used to be my record. Like, why y'all watching that? And they would be looking at me like, because your dumbass ain't giving me no help. So sometimes we think we're doing something behind the chair because we're doing their hair, but clearly there's something else that's happening once they leave the chair. And to be honest, I don't think cosmetologists and barbers are on the post the minute that, how they say, the door and hit them with a good Lord to split them. So Armadillo says, do we have t-shirts with logos on it? Yes, you can visit Afro Hair. Ooh, I like your what they call avatar. That's dope. Yes, we do have t-shirts available. They are on afrohairscience.com, and we have a nice selection. We even have some pics that Shirley and I like, so you can go visit that and let us see. When we come back, I'll show you that. But that's a good question. Sandra says, so many believe YouTube University because so few professionals are not there to counter the negative. That part. I mean, seriously.
And to be honest with you, there's so many because Y2K made so many of them at one point that there's so many to debunk. That, you know, and let me just say this: I don't think that these people are, malicious. I think that they took a void and filled it with their own recognizance, so to speak, and they don't have any place. They figure if black hair, textured hair, coiled science, Afro hair science is not available, they think that it has integrated into straight hair, that there is none. So they made it up.
Yeah.
And so that is ultimately the professional barber and cosmetology industry's problem. And
right.
So
And we have to realize, like you said, Sandra, and that's why this platform, it is very important, because I'm going to be the first to say that the barber and beauty industry definitely dropped the ball on the information, on the desire to want to know more about the, inner workings of hair maintenance, and cut maintenance in between barber, salon, and braid style visits. So with that being said, let's move rather right on over to the topic that we're going to be talking about today, which is all about spirituality and hair. So we have three perspectives or talking points, rather, that we're going to be speaking from. We're going to be talking about the Bible and hair, metaphysics and hair. We're going to save Yaki for last. So let's start off with the Bible. So every hair salon knows the rule of thumb. It's two things you don't talk about in a hair salon: politics and religion. Okay, those are like no-nos. You really don't want to do that, in spite of our signs telling you guys to vote. But anywho, religion is always a very tough topic. But lately, I would say, in the past 15, years or up to today, braiding, of course, is the hot thing, the hottest styles. Everybody wants to do braiding. Yet, you do have people that come into the hair salon, for sure, at the Reverend's Design Team Hair Salon, and you could drop, if that's your experience, in the chat, that people have concerns about braiding hair because the Bible said, which I didn't know this, that there is a verse in the Bible that says, braiding is kind of frowned upon. Now, we're not saying you should take these things literally. I'm not quite sure if that's what they meant, but I do have a clip to play, and then Cheryl is going to drop it and just, kind of take it to the next level. If you are familiar with the scripture, by all means, drop it in the chat. Something about it and you want to say something, I'll drop the link and we'll bring you in if you want to say something. I know nothing about it, but in the meantime, let's play the clip. So here we go.
She also would have within her hair were gold strands and silver strands perhaps and all of that, and so it made your eyes focused on that gold that was shining in the hair or the silver or whatever. And that's what he's saying here. It's not a condemnation of braiding hair. What it is Do not let the adornment, the outward adornment, be so, pull your eyes away from what is the truth.
Should I braid or plait my natural hair in its natural form? And when you read the word, it just says braided hair. It's not mentioning attachment. It's not mentioning natural form. It's not mentioning neither of that. It just says braided hair.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
All right, there you go. The Bible, it's in the Bible. Now, I did Google it, and it says this is coming out of Peter 3:3, okay? And it says they told Paul also told Timothy to convey to the women in the church of Ephesus, I hope I'm saying this correctly, not to braid their hair. It's definitely there. But the real message of the two verses is about humility and modesty. So what ye say about this scripture on not braiding hair and, humility and modesty?
The Bible is quite contradicting, to say the least. What they would call a braid most times would be a lock. And a lock would be a handful of hair. It would be a tendril or a section. And so, but I will say that the Bible also was written political and cultural and expands over some centuries. And so as trends changed, I don't know if those, and you have to remember, God never said anything about that. These were apostles. These were people. These were authors. And so just because they're included in scripture does not mean that they were inspired divinely by the word of God. And so whatever we deemed or you guys deem as God, so it wasn't divinely orchestrated. But that was cultural, popes, kings, queens, that could have been aristocratic and monarchies and all types of other systems of that time. I don't know if that was divinely orchestrated by
All right. The chat, you get the unanimous thumbs up on that one. Now, we do respect and understand, of course, this is coming out of a Christian, mindset. So every religion has different rules of thumbs, and you follow what you want to follow. You believe what you want to believe, but we don't agree with taking these things literally. Like Cheryl said, you got to think of what was, what it meant back then, so on and so forth. But we just don't think it's a good idea that you tell people don't braid your hair because the Bible. So we have some braiders with girls and they're licensed, cosmetologists who braid. And some of the older women would be like, I see all these girls today getting these braids in their hair. And, in the Bible, it really doesn't, it's not recommended. And so, there you have it. I did find another thing. It says in the King James Version, it says, in like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broided hair or gold or pearls of costly array. And so again, they back then, or maybe today, I'm not quite sure. I'm not a churchy person, but that's something about being a little, is it ostentatious or worldly? They want you to just kind of be meek and modest so that people can like you for you and not, how you look aesthetically. So again, that's coming out of the Christian religion, but there are various religions who have various rules of thumbs about hair. And
they're all governed by men. So there you have it. They're always going to be telling a woman what you can't do and what you can't do. So You
Yeah.
can't really take that with a grain of salt, in my opinion. That it was not even, and they never said it was divine by God. They never said that. Those are scriptures that just say it. But
Oh,
those are systems to, at that time, to control women.
wow. I'm kind of stumped. I don't think I've ever even given that two thoughts. Sandra says Samson had dreadlocks for crying out loud. But that's the way you have it. Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
let me just say this. Now, you see how, and I'm just pointing to Miss Sandra, not to make an example out of you. What I'm saying is, but Samson had locks, but Samson's racial identity is not defined. So we don't know if it was locked because of hygiene and he couldn't comb it. We don't know if he was of African descent. And so when you don't have the information there, you can't make assumptions. And so those things are not divinely words of God. They never said God said. These are just pockets of scripture that you don't know where they go and where they're from or how. And then people 12,000, 6,000, 8,000 years later are governing their lives.
Shame on ya with them braids in your hair. So hey guys, do you but be careful as to not to really shame people about their preference and how they want to wear their hair, be it braids, be it covered. It's definitely a personal preference, be it inspired by religion or not. So let's just hop on over to the other one. I think this one we're going to get a little bit more saucy. Y'all ready for some saucelito is what I call it. Now this one, I have some here, okay? I got me some crystals, And so crystals are to have certain power. I think they're talismans. I do think that they have I think they got some good luck charm-ish to them. But here's a video of what you can do, with crystals when it comes to hair. And really need to know how does this hold true. Okay, here we go.
So, if you're interested in metaphysics, this is a hair growth aid that you might not have thought of. So, hair is seen as strength in many cultures, and it is actually an energy receptor. So it's like one of our survival tools, and just like a bug or animals with their whiskers or an ant with antennas, the hair is like our natural extension of our energy body.
What you talking about, Will?
Okay, so there's some energy in us. There's some energy in us as humans. And so we have these various, rocks that come from Earth that has these special powers. And she gave a list of 4 minerals that can really, help your hair grow. In my hair care line, they do grind up minerals like, it just slipped my mind. The one that sand is made out of. I forgot. It just slipped my mind. And so they grind up the sand to give the hair, some slip. We use some minerals. They use minerals in hair care products, but the minerals in the rock formation. Can you wave this and lay these things on you or put them in your purses and they really do something to make your hair grow?
Well, first of all, you described a crystal as you said a talisman.
Well, for me, I think I do use them as charms. They kind of soothe when I got to go speak. And, if I just feel like I just need some little buddies, well, you're a nerd. Like, I don't have a lot of friends. Like, Cheryl's my new friend, can't you tell? I'm a loner. Like, nobody wants to play with me. I'm by myself a lot. So I definitely kind of hold on to crystals to just kind of be my little partners, so to speak. So
Well, my next subsequent question for everybody and yourself: what what is a talisman?
like a charm, like a little thing that you use. It could be a piece of jewelry or a rabbit's foot or a crystal. Maybe an earring or a necklace or something.
So we understand that anything that is energized is alive, right? Energy is neither lost or destroyed. It keeps moving. It doesn't calcify, right?
Right.
Okay, we talk about some nut jobs talk about your pineal gland can calcify, which is ridiculous. But the point is that the talismans are an object that is to be charged. The crystal is a symbol because it's already crystallized. So from that energy grid, it doesn't necessarily give off any energy to you, but it can be charged. Like my talisman. What is the number one talisman that Black people charged? Which means they had a symbol, some thoughts, some feelings, and embodied and put that embodiment into that object with their a charge, an emotion, which is the number one thing. I literally will give you guys a whole set of pink cones, and you guys can get that one question.
I'm gonna say the cross. I think the cross is something that people.
Okay. Good guess.
Come on, y'all. Say it again, Cheryl. Come on. Don't fall asleep on us. And repeat that question again. I want to type my answer in the chat. I said the cross.
Okay.
Ask the question again, Cheryl.
What is one symbol that Black people down through the ages have charged to be a talisman? You said one clue. You said the cross.
Someone said the evil eye. I think you mean that you talk about that little stone.
The hand of God.
Yeah, okay. That one, okay. Do we have another one coming through? Come on, guys.
Come on, y'all.
All right.
No, this one.
So I said the cross, the evil eye. Okay, maybe they'll. Yeah, this. I know this topic is a little scary because some people are like, "Ooh, I don't want to know. I don't want to."
Please, come on, you guys. Come on, you guys see it every day. What symbol?
What symbol do we see every day?
Number one and the oldest talisman.
Oh, y'all know what I was getting ready to say.
People.
Somebody, okay, they coming through, but I was gonna say,
come on.
Here we go, they coming through, but I was gonna say some dice. People be blowing. Come on, y'all, remember that? I put my dice on my back so they don't slide.
We charge dice.
Never hitting deuce 5. Never hitting
dice.
No way. All right. Okay, here we go. We got the voodoo doll. That's a good one.
Oh,
all right. They charge.
Very good.
Okay. All right, Hair Savant.
Close.
All right. Oh, what about the Ankh? The Ankh. Woo, y'all coming through. All right, Lena. We got the Ankh. Hold on. This is a good one. The blood. Woo, my salon was safe for the blood. I can tell you a story about the blood. Hold on. Sandra, one more, Cheryl. Hey, we dropped some stuff, and I love you guys. All right, so here we go. Cheryl.
Okay. The number one and the oldest chargeable talisman, amulet of all time for African people is the African comb.
Ow!
They stick it in their hair.
Oh, we missed it.
Now, wood is an insulator, which means it embodies. It's like a crystal. wood. And so they embodied it. That's why it has a head. That's why it has shoulders. And then it has the energy, and then, which is basically an ankh. But the comb gets its name for combining as above, so below. And we put it right there at an angle in the back of our head.
I what you said. Hold on. The whole chat is like.
Yeah, the comb is not a beauty implement. It's a energy implement. It's a talisman.
Really?
Yeah, the comb. Have you guys noticed that the
Now,
comb?
how do we charge it though? What do we do?
You charge it. You charge it with your emotions. You charge it with the things that you desire. That's why it was always made out of fertility, because it was a creative, a feminine tool. Because it was, that's why you put it back into your head, which is your what? Aura. You put it in your afro, your hair net, your interface, right here, back of your pineal gland. You put it right there. It's always, it's never stuck. But if you see African cultures, it's stuck, juxtaposed either to the left or to the right. It's juxtaposed, and they have it, and it's always designed in the embodiment of a person. And when you look at a motherboard, those teeth are not teeth, those are prongs. And when you have, let's say, like a diode, like an insulator, like you have an electrical, they have prongs, and then they have a hole in it, and then it has a body that is usually the embodiment of the essence of who you are, and it called, in some cultures, called a dwafe. And the beauty of it is that it encompasses your aura, your ra, your energy, and every other subsequent energy like Reiki and things of Japanese cultures and Cambodian cultures and Indian culture. All of that is of Ra, right, or the Uraeus. All of that is about spirituality and what I think Earth, Wind, and Fire had a song called Serpentine Fire. And that's
Come
the
on, tell a story, morning glory, all about the serpentine fire.
and glory is a star. And so that's the whole point. And that's why these conversations have to be talked about, so you can know what you've been knowing every day. You've been talking about Earth, Wind, and Fire was a very cosmic, aligned, very conscious group.
You know, it's
Why would they talk? Why would they have a song called September? That's the start of the Ethiopian New Year.
Sir, you're so deep. I'm sorry, y'all.
They didn't write. They could have wrote about August. Shit, for all you know, they could have wrote about April. They said September because that is actually the correct 9, the season of Virgo. And this stuff is supposed to make sense. This is not mind-blowing. This is what you knew. That's why I don't have to educate you. You knew it already. You guys are living books. You just need to be reminded.
I think we everybody is, we all in the chat like, I'm with you, Hair Savant. Stop the man. You know, I think about this song. My mother made us learn it by Earth, Wind, and Fire. And it was like, we are people of the mighty, mighty people of the sun. Do you remember that song? In the hard time.
It has sun.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. They had sun goddess. They had write the song is the sound. Maurice White was absolutely genius, but he only wrote about his African consciousness. He didn't write about anything shit he didn't know about. He sung about shit he knew about, and that was blackness. So he knew. That's why their album covers are always very comedic geometry and designs.
Wow. And here is Sandra saying Black Power at its finest. Wow. I mean,
Absolutely.
I ain't even about to perpetrate. I'm not about to front. I have listened to Earth, Wind, and Fire all my life, but I'm gonna be honest. I have never put that together. Like never, ever have I done that. So with that being said, so the crystal stuff is not a joke then, huh?
Well, hair is a crystal. That's why hair is a crystal.
Damn it.
It has information locked in it, right? You can still put it in water and still get information, right? That's what y'all said, right?
All right, guys. Anybody want to be the host? Because Cheryl, you're just too deep. Hair is a crystal.
A crystal. Look up the Google. What is a crystal? It is an arrangement of high energy in a grid, and it's arranged in very close knit. Granite is a very close knit small molecules of high energy arrangement. That's all it means. That's why it's on top of your head. It's at the highest form of energy in how it comes together in keratin, horns, or anything. It's like a crystal.
All right, hold on. They want to see it. Hold on. Wait a minute, guys. Let me show it to you. Hold on. Let me share the screen. Hold your panties. Hold your crystals. No pun intended. All right, here it is. A crystal or crystalline solid is a solid material whose constituents are arranged in a highly ordered microscopic structure. So once again, Cheryl is right. Yeah, Cheryl is definitely going off. Okay. Next up, in case you want to see the dwarf, I hope I'm saying that correctly, Cheryl, but let me show you guys this again. So here we go. So here is the dwarf. This is the Adinkra symbol. She was talking about the comb, being a talisman. There it is. The dwarf is an Adinkra symbol. It features a symbol of a wooden comb. It represents femininity, beauty, cleanliness, consideration or good feminine qualities, patience, prudence, fondness, love, and care. Most impressive. I think a lot of us, we have these dwarf earrings and stuff. We wear this stuff. Some may be aware of it, some may not. What's up, Chris? I see you in the chat. Chrissy and I, we grew up together, so she knows that song. If you haven't heard it, please go listen to it. It's by Earth, Wind, and Fire. I think it's called Mighty Mighty. We are...
Yes.
That's how it goes. We are people of the mighty, mighty people of the sun. We did not sing, Oh Say Can You See? My mother was like, you ain't singing that shit in my house. Sing it! We are people of the mighty. So we had a different upbringing back then. The crystal thing is not a joke.
Yeah. Dwarfes are resistors. Those are electrical. Your people were talking about you being electrical, having energy flowing, not just stagnant energy. Crystals that's why hair, they say, is considered dead, because the energy is no longer flowing. It can be charged, in terms of symbology, to represent something and to remind you. Talismans or symbols or crystals and have embodied the essence of what you choose for them to be. Citrine has one, jade has one, people's jasper has one, amethyst and rose quartz and white quartz, and clear quartz. All of those have already calcified, crystallized.
All right, your hair is crystal, so that is not.
And by the way, one of the top sellers of crystals for hair is called crystal combs, and they are shaped like African combs. And no, black folks ain't selling them. White folks are, and she is taking. Yeah, in fact, you guys can Google it, crystalcombs.com.
Hold on, guys. I'm gonna let you guys see this. You said crystal combs.
Crystal Combs.
crystalcombs.com. Here we go.
I mean, I haven't been on her site in about 7 years, but I'm sure she's doing well.
So here we go. You guys want to see this? Here we go. She is not making this up. What Chill says, don't cook it up. Look it up. All right. So we're not going to cook it up. Here it is. Crystal Combs. Here you go.
Where's she?
There she is.
Yeah.
She's got crystal combs.
Wait a minute. Go. Yeah, there you go. And they made out of crystals. The whole damn comb. I don't think she's the original of that. Oh, wait a minute.
What'd you say?
I don't think she's the original that. I don't remember her. I mean, I don't know if that's
coming out of, she is just a model. This is coming out of Mumbai, South Mumbai. This is in India. So she's just a model. This is not the person.
No, not her. But go to the catalog. I'm just curious. Yeah, but because they're very. Anyway, we don't necessarily have to go into it.
So, anyway, guys,
the whole comb. I don't think it's her. It's a white woman.
Okay. All right. So there you have it. So don't laugh at the crystals because you can charge them and you give them meaning. There you have it. So it could happen. Get your crystals and you do what you need to do. I am a fan of crystals. People
me too.
People be laughing at me, but I
have them all in my home. I would.
Yeah, I do. I have crystals everywhere. Okay, so what about Reiki? Let's hear a little bit about Reiki. Are you guys ready for some Reiki? Here we go. Here's some Reiki.
Dude, that's major interesting.
All right. There you go. Reiki. I will admit, I have a customer and dear friend. Her name is Annette Halleman, and my sister loves Reiki. I like Reiki. So that's why I said do major interesting, but I don't know what it does for your hair. But in the spirit of our conversation about stress last week, I think Cheryl's going to say this one is not a joke. So Cheryl, what's up with Reiki? Is this going to help us, with our hair and everything?
If it's not suffering from, if your scalp is not suffering from any conditions, but it's not going to reverse any conditions. No.
All right. So I would have fell for the okie doke. Here go Hair Savant. I don't feel anything. But see, I had drank the Kool-Aid. Y'all know I'm drinking some Kool-Aid for real. So I had drank the Reiki Kool-Aid. So you can't do Reiki if you have a serious.
No, you can. What I'm saying is, energy flows through something healthy. Doesn't flow through anything that will stop and resist the flow.
Okay.
So
right. All right. So it's gonna work if you're on the healthy side, but if you got some already, hair stuff already gone, the Reiki is not going to help. But what is going to help, because this chat is starting to get nice and full, we need you guys to take a moment to hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe, share the content, and we appreciate you for being partners with us. So please take a moment out right now to do this. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about Yaki. All right. Did you guys hit that thumbs up button? Did you hit the heart button? If you are on Facebook, if you are on YouTube, take a moment out and just share the link with one of your friends and say, you know what? This chat is going down. Cheryl is like Bismarck. She is going off. All right. She is going off. So they want to know, can the vibes flow through a video? So she had this video of the Reiki. So can you get that chi through a computer screen?
Yeah, it's called radiation.
Okay, Chris, there it is in your answer. You can get the vibe
from your electromagnetic field of your phone, your Bluetooth. I think you guys get the point.
Okay. All right. Okay, but don't be what they say. Be penny wise. Don't be dollar foolish with this stuff, guys. Remember, if you're already
right, it is as Mr. Yaki like to say, and talk about the Merkel's disc. You must be touched.
All right. All right. So let's get into some Yaki, some 9 ether hair. So I think the first thing people want to know is what the ham sandwich and French toast is 9 ether, let alone 9 ether hair. So here is a video. We're going to get into 9 ether beings. Let's get people going. What is 9 ether people?
9 ether beings taught to you by YouTube University.
Most of the times, I believe a lot of persons do not know why we as black people are called the 9 ether beings. They say they are something else, like they have the origin of the Indian whatever in them. They look like Indians, they are aboriginal.
They went all into the different races of the world. They went into Europe. They came to Africa, and they came to the part of Africa. Now, all the rest of them, they put in little flag colors. But when you came to Africa, found out that the African people have 9 DNA series.
What you talking about, Willie?
What is this 9 ether being? Let's just, your light then went dim on you. You ain't got no more light on you. So are you a 9 ether? Are you turning 9 ether on us? What's 9 ether? What is this stuff?
Well, did they explain it to you? Because let me just say this. I do not study what I do not profess to know about. I do not. Also, they had a reason for it. But nature does not make DNA, people. Nature makes chromosomes. Western education took DNA out of it and then said that's the whole thing. No, it's a chromosome. And then it has chromosomal RNA. Then you get to what they call DNA. But they call DNA everything. Now you think that everything is DNA, but no, nature makes chromosome, some, body, chromo, color. Color is spectrum. Now, the only thing I think that they could be talking about is 9 spectrums, but because we have a tendency with our ignorance, we have been ignorant so long that when we get a little bit of light, we are superior with it, and we regurgitate it and give it to each other as if I found out and nobody else found out. And we get superior with it instead of explaining how we download it or how we know something. Okay. And so I begat something, then I research it, and then I get this piece, and then I get that piece. And sometimes the information says go here and go there and go get and piece it together. But when I say it to you, I make sure that I understand that you knew it. You probably forgot it. You probably haven't heard it in a long, but I'm not going to sit here and think that I'm superior, that I'm the only one that got it, like most philosophers, and people. But I
Right.
don't think that 9 is significant in terms of DNA, because DNA is not the whole story. Chromosome is the whole story.
All right. But so here's what I'm with you. We should not be turning to Google for this. But what I did see when I looked up some of this 9 ether stuff, what was popping up was this group of individuals called the Nuwapians. And the Nuwapians gathered some of this stuff from another group of people called, I hope I'm saying it correctly. I've never, ever heard of this, guys, but I think it said Rosicrucians or Rosicrucians or something like that. So if you are familiar with the Nuwabians, with a B, not a P, Nuwabians, or the Rosicrucians or Rosicrucians or something like that. So this is coming out of their school of thought.
I don't know if it's Rosicrucians, because those are Italians. Those are Europeans.
Well, that's why we said don't do Google. But when you pop that up, a lot of that does come together. So there we have a start that the school of thought in the 9 ether hair is definitely coming from a group of, 9 ether beings is coming from a group of people. And that clip just showed you some of the people who are pretty much saying that this is a chromosomal type of an assignment for Black people, because we are the 9 ether beings. I don't know if I want to be a 9 ether being, but anywho, so let's hear what Yaki. You don't know who Yaki is? Yaki is the YouTube sensation. He is a health guru, and he is traveling. He's on right now. He is on an HBCU tour here in the United States. He is heavily followed here on YouTube. Yaki, I know you probably watching us because we done hashtag you. We want you on our show to talk with us more in detail about 9 ether hair. So we can't be here all night. So here we go.
Well,
let's hear what
you want him on the show. I don't have time for his foolishness.
He ain't got shit. I want to see what he has to say. All right. So here we go. Here is Yaki on 9 ether hair. Here we go. A little snippet.
Talk to me about our hair.
We are God, so we have 9 ether hair, and your 9 ether hair is your crown. The Bible call it our glory. Your hair is basically an extension of your nervous system. When you first born, or when you first conceived in your mother's womb, you have something called the endoderm, the ectoderm, and the endoderm. These things is what literally creates the fetus or the embryo inside of the woman's womb. Well, your hair is made from the same skin as your brain, and your brain is made from the same thing as your skin.
You need to leave that dope alone.
You haven't.
He need to leave that dope alone.
I'm sorry. I'm about to go off. Before you take it over, I'm going to tell y'all right now. Is that type of stuff is why people don't want to go to cosmetology school. And I'm going to say it. It's that type of stuff that's got this natural hair industry, off the Richter scale. And now they out here going crazy because they talk like that. So what is this? What did you hear what he said?
I don't know what he said. I heard a whole bunch of what he said, but endoderm, ectoderm, and exoderm,
he said your brain is your hair. The skin from your brain is your hair. And so your hair is your brain and your brain is your hair. Like
he what he was trying to say. Now, I want you guys to make sure that I put my money where my mouth is. Now, in California, in San Diego, there is a wonderful place that I took you to, LaDosha, when you were here, called the Robeat Center. And it is one of the longest houses and homes for African culture and awareness. It has been there for over 50 years. And Yaki has crowned or connected with Makeda Cheatham, which is the mother and founder and CEO of World Beat Center. And
Beautiful woman.
He came to Earth Day. And I made sure that I pulled him as he was, he had his bodyguards and shit, right? And I pulled his ass to the side and I invited him to the Afro Science Summit and I told him to stop that craziness. If you do not know what you're talking about, stay your ass out of beauty, hair, culture, just stay with your bullshit in your lane. And I invited him to the Afro Hair Science Summit while we were in the park area of the World Beat Center, but he was hell-bent on his agenda. He was hell-bent on his talking points. And I'm letting you guys know that when people, especially Black people, when they talk like that, that is ego. That is not education. And
well, let me
my opinion.
All right, let's scrub. I want to scrub through some more of Yah'Ki the Awakened, some of his, because people got to hear what this gentleman is saying. So let me just go ahead on. All right, so here we go.
I would say this. I would say yes and no. I would say yes, because your hair is an extension of your nervous system. It's connected to your dipole antennas, and this is the way you connect with the ethers. I would say no, because once you...
Okay. All right. How is our hair antennas? How does our hair pick up? I think he might be talking about, you guys know when you get that static. So how is hair picking up?
Right. Black people's hair don't stand up on its end when in connection with electricity. You ain't never seen no Black person's hair stand up unless it was straight. You don't know. Black people's hair already is anti-gravity. It don't need to stand up on its end. It don't work like that. Why does, when there is contact with an electromagnetic impulse or force, what shape does white people's hair take?
It will do that.
No. What shape does it take?
It don't.
It takes a round shape.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. It does. It just kind of...
No, it wasn't doing with it. It stands up perfectly round.
Right.
Black people already grow around. It already grows height, mass, and width. It doesn't, in what we call volume. Height, mass, volume. That is the curl. And that's why I told you I was trying to explain to you curl math, which is there as a such thing. And I think that they're getting it confused with curl math. Maybe 9 ether. Maybe they're after something. But black people, you guys go to church so damn much. If you guys were trying to get a message through your antenna, I don't know why you ain't got it. What message have you got?
All right, let's see what else. Hold on, let's see what else. Here we go. Let's see what else is he saying. Hold on. Here we go. Let me get him back up here. Here we go again. Let me just scrub a little bit backwards here. Let's see what he's saying here.
Yeah. You got these nerve endings in your eye. And inside the cones, at the end of the cones inside your eye, you have these little fibers that you call hair. Mm-hmm. This then takes the image of way of light and it converts that light into a picture. The picture shows upside down from in the cerebellum in the back of your brain, and then it turns itself right side out, and then you see. Mm-hmm. That's your projection, but that's all by way of hair. Your tongue. You have over 1 billion hair
Your tongue?
Yeah, on your tongue right now. You got hair on the top of your tongue. That's what they call these taste buds. Call them
taste buds is here.
Hold on, to move, you know. I would say yes, because your hair is extension. You can still connect with the source without this. And the reason why I'm saying is most of your pharaohs, they didn't have hair, but they were very in tune, you know, with the gods. This is 4 years ago. It's memory in here. Sometimes it get heavy. If you look in a biblical sense, when somebody from another nation wanted to become a Hebrew Israelite, they had to cut their fingernails and they had to cut their hair. And then,
all right. So he is saying a whole lot there about hair, the energy. He's really big on hair, just being, and you notice he keeps doing this with the hair. So
let me ask you guys, did you guys see Avatar? And this is one of my favorite videos, and I think I sent it to you in your email. If you want to play it, you can play it, because I sent it to you before the show. It is when it's called The Voice of Trees. The Voice of Trees is when the two avatars walked into the voice, into the trees, into the forest. And that is when the African avatars, the blue people, okay, all righty, these higher forces of nature. When Yaki says the forces, he doesn't really map it out because he just likes to be in sensational. You know what I mean? But there is some credence. He could actually map it out if that is what he's trying to do. But in the voice of trees, right? In the voice of trees, they literally put their tendril and hook it to the tendril of the tree. And then all of these voices of their ancestors comes through. It's in the movie. Now, that is, of course, a scientific or a sci-fi depiction of what the particles and how the Dogon, you would say, of West Africa, of Mali, would say that is how they knew that there was Sirius A and Sirius B, and they knew the map of the stars because of the voices. They would, or you have other races or cultures of people would take ayahuasca, and then they begin to hear the voices. But it's in Avatar. But I don't know if you get random messages, because ain't nobody ever got a random message and said shit.
All right. So let me show you guys what Cheryl is talking about. So here we go. I got it already scrubbed there for you. Here we go.
I hear them. They live, Sheikh. I was in Awa. You are a multi-kind.
All right. So there you have it. There it is in Avatar, and that's symbolic. And yeah, that's Cheryl's favorite part. I did not like the movie, but anywho, yeah. So there you have it. That he could be. Sometimes we borrow stuff from other cultures and we try to make it jive, like you said, for our own. All we can say, we don't know Yaki. We don't know his school of thought. We're not quite sure. I was trying to find where he talks about this Merkle disc thing here. I thought that was pretty interesting. But he's definitely on something. And
I'm listening.
Yeah, so no, I was just trying to find that. So he has a following. He has people out there. He's very serious about 9 ether hair. This is where he's at. Let me just show you a little ending, a little end of that clip, so you guys can just kind of see how his school of thought ends here. So here we go. Here we go.
For you to experience, you can be God without the body. You're already God without the body. God created a body to experience reality. You don't want to experience that part of reality no more. Shave it. You know, we didn't. The pharaohs was doing magical things without hair, brother. That's all I'm saying. But hair is very, very important, especially people that's learning the tools, learning culture, learning how to grow spiritually and stuff like that. And people that don't have those intuitive ancestors and elders and mothers around them to teach those things. I think your hair is a natural guide to learning these things because it's intuitively, you know, smart and intelligent on its own. You don't need to teach this hair to do what it do. It's gonna scan the environment and it's gonna give you a decision on how to look at your reality. Whether you know what I'm saying, whether you do a style.
All right, so he is back to the hair being able to scan the environment. I have no school of thought on. Do you guys think your hair scans the environment? Michelle was like, guys, hey, be careful out here in these YouTube streets, okay? Y'all be careful. Y'all get home safe. Watch out for what they're saying. Some of this stuff is absolutely terribly pseudo. So we're going to be back. They said no. I don't think the hair scans the environment. You can go check him out. He's very and Chrissy said, well, it's you. Look at Harrison Fox. Girl, wow, boy, wow. Okay. So be careful out here in these YouTube streets, listening to these people. We're going to be back next. I did have this book here on the African holistic health. He has some other school of thought about. I like this book. This is by Dr. Layla Africa, and he has a section. Here it is. He has a section in his book where he shows certain portions of the head and that it is related to certain organs. So these are some holistic things that we see, you know, come through the salon. What are your thoughts on Dr. Africa?
Neither here or there. I mean, I didn't think his work was all that superb. That is what we call meridian points. We have a brush that we do touch the meridians. And I think that, and here we go again, you know, as long as we can keep the sensationalism out of the information for Black people. Black people, this information is thousands of years old. And I think that if we could present it in a container and in a spirit that is so much more palatable, that we're just reminding us of it. We're not really educating you to the point where when we say it, that's why certain things have a ring of truth. That's why you go, okay, that makes, because you're remembering it. And so far, some of the scholars, you know, down through the ages of time, some of them were educating us, and the other ones were writing things in a voice of sensationalism to wow us and motivate us and get us empowered and emotionally invested into what they were selling, to be able to put us in a different energy. But the energy must be applicable, must be able to be applied. It must be able to honor you. It must be able to improve your life. You may be able to use it to enrich yourself, but it is not that one holds the key. I don't. I'm just here to guide you. And that is sometimes, you know, the other scholars have gotten us to a certain point, but I think now we're in a different age. We're in the age of Aquarius. We don't believe things anymore. We want to know.
This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Come on, Sandra. Age of Aquarius. I always wondered what that meant. So the dawning of the age of the Aquarius means we want to know more. Is that what you're saying?
I am an Aquarian. My mantra as an astrological omen, astrological energy is I know. Aries is I am. Okay. All of the other astrological houses have a theme. And in Aquarius is to know. Not the Piscean age is to believe. I believe. And so we're going out of that energy and we're going into the age of Aquarius that we want to know now.
All right, now all the Aquarius in the house. All right, y'all can drop y'all zodiac sign. Well, she might know, but I's a Scorpio. So Scorpio season is coming through. Y'all know what time it is. But in the meantime, we're going to be back next week. Now we got y'all through spirituality. We hope this is going to help you out. Don't toss out your crystals. It's okay to, you know what the comb is used for. They coming through. All right. Don't just do you. Like she said, do you. It's okay. You're going to be all right. Watch out for them Yakis. Okay. Be careful. But next week, I think you're going to like this one, Cheryl. So I went to a training a few months ago, like in the summertime, and a woman was teaching the class, and she told everybody in the class, she said, well, she made a statement. She says, I don't know why hair salons offer treatments in the fall, because everybody knows that during the fall, your hair sheds. So what I want to know is, what's the science, if there's any, between the seasons and what happens with hair? I was combing my hair last night. My best friend Monica, she's not in the chat, but she came through. I was combing. I said, oh, I gotta wash my hair. It's just so dirty. She said, well, it is fall season. So during the fall, your hair sheds a lot. So let's talk about how does the weather affect our hair? What role does the seasons change? Let's talk about lunar haircuts. Can you cut your hair and care for your hair in phases of the moon? These are other popular, I call them schools of thoughts, but for sure, I'm sure you've heard them hair savant. People always talk about in the fall, your hair your hair definitely sheds. So let's talk about seasons and hair and the lunar cuts and all that cool stuff. All right. Does that sound like something good you guys want to hear? That's how it's going down next Monday. Okay. Don't forget, if there's a topic you want us to cover, feel free to drop that in the chat. Thursday, we're going to be over on Planet Pluto Pseudo. So y'all get into the mothership. All right, get into your mothership. That's how it's going down. And we're going to be talking about your distributors and your representatives who comes in and sells us the products. We need to know, do we need distributors, Cheryl? That's one good question. Number two, what's the role of it? They come into our salons and they want to sell us stuff. How do we decipher what to buy, what not to buy? We go to the hair shows, the representatives are all over the place. They're everywhere. So we don't know how to navigate through all of the buy. So I think that's going to be a wonderful topic. In the meantime, we'll see you guys next week. Don't forget, y'all can drop any sign y'all want to. I ain't seen no Scorpios come through, so I ain't going to drop nobody sign up. What's up, Samiki? I see you, Miss Griffin. I see you in the chat. So that's how it's going down. Y'all know what we say when we're signing off. First, we appreciate you guys. The chat just got real hot and heated. We love you guys so much.
Is there anyone any question?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Was there any
spirituality?
You said any questions? Say that again.
Yeah. Any questions about the spirituality? Just one. Before
anybody have one question? Is there a question or two about spirituality and hair? I'm sure there's something somebody said, well, I always wanted to. Thank you. They said, thank you. Okay. Well, we're doing our best to give you guys some good information. I have a question while we're waiting, because remember, there's a delayed response. When you talked about wood, you said that wood was can you speak a little bit more about the wood and the calm and the purpose? Drop your questions in the chat if you have.
African cultures and different African cultures from different regions, be it east, north, south, and west, use different materials for different purposes. And make sure that you guys understand, crystals are a medium, because there is a middle portion, the great divide between as above, so below. And there is the integration process, which is we use as talisman and crystals. However, but wood usually is the first choice that of African comb making to combine, because wood is an insulator, doesn't conduct, which means that once it absorbs, it doesn't lose its energy. Okay, it doesn't allow free radicals and free moving energy. Okay, it is used to embody, to encase, to keep, okay, to bear. It really is for that. And that is why the wooden combs take on a certain energy, a certain design, a certain symbol. That the fertility comb is for creation. I want to be a creator, or I'll put the essence of my father and I'll put the embodiment. So that is what the African comb, which is comb is a short word for combing, combination of as above, so below, the energies. And when you have, I don't know if you guys have seen the Danderville, the Vanderwall, electrical machine with the dome on top, and then it has you put your hand on it, and it allows you to well, inside of that particular machine, there's a comb at the top and there's a comb at the bottom, and the comb allow the electrons to separate from the protons.
Wow. How about them apples?
And the protons go up. That's why you put your hand on the top, and it's a dome. But the key is that wood is an insulator.
All right. So wood is the insulator. Lawana has a question before we wrap it up. She wants to know, she says, haven't we been in the age of Aquarius for some years now? So when did we enter the age of Aquarius? I guess.
Cook it, don't cook it up, look it up. I think that we have entered it.
Okay, let me
I think only in the last 3 to 5 years. I don't think that we've been, and we're not even fully in it. We are still going to probably have quite a bit of tower moments, old structures, old religions. Everyone's going to want to have a different consciousness. Actually, it's the age of Aquaria, not Aquarius. It is a female with a pitcher of water, not a male.
Okay.
Mommy,
so you have 2 school of thoughts on the age of Aquarius. One says it happened in 2021, and then another school of thought says it's supposed to happen in the 22nd century around 2160. Okay, so as it stands,
now let me add you. Do you guys understand what the age of Aquarius is? It's actually a constellation that will be in the constellation of Aquarius, will rise in the east with the sun. Now it's going away from Pisces. So Pisces is no longer in the meridian in the east as the sun, right? That's basically, and it just symbols Aquaria, the mother of the waters. And so that is where we come with the new consciousness. And so you can tell people who are no longer want to be involved with politics or religion. They just really want to go it on their own and learn how to govern their own lives.
Oh boy. Well, you guys are going to love this, because the age of Aquarius is supposed to last about 2,160 years. So, oh boy, you guys better get ready, because we ain't falling for the okie doke. As you can tell by these comments in the chat, we are questioning a lot of this stuff because people want to know more. And also, that really validates why we should do the Afro Hair Summit, because we can tell that right now, by what's happening in the hair salons, people want to know more. They just don't just do my hair. You're going to have to do a lot more than style my hair. So we need to get the education to be prepared to do that. All right, guys. Okay. So that's it. We're going to see you Thursday. Don't forget to share this content. Hit that thumbs up button. Go ahead on and drop in the chat What would you like for us to talk about? I have a whole list of things, but we would love to hear from you. After all, like Cheryl said, we don't know everything, so we'd love to hear from you. So thank you guys again so very much. Cheryl, you want to wrap us up with the last minute thought? We got.
I think you said it all.
You said it all. All right.
Yeah, and to look forward to we're when we get done with the Afro Hair Science Summit in Toledo, we're really going to make it available for everyone.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Miss Lawana. Thank you so much, Miss Griffin. I thank you so much. All right, guys. You know what we say when we're always signing out, right? We're always talking about a whole lot of peace, for sure, a whole lot of love, and let's not forget a whole lot of spiritual hair. Go ahead on and get y'all crystals. Put y'all picks back in, okay? Listen to some Earth, Wind, and Fire. By the way, if you haven't heard it in a while, listen to some. All right, and don't forget, if you ain't got no hair, you can't grow it. You don't like it. You got them little bald patches. We know what that's all about. Hey, don't worry about any of that because all of you are beautiful too. Okay. All of you are beautiful too. All right. Okay, guys, have a wonderful night. And we will see you on Thursday at 10 o'clock over on Planet Pluto Pseudo, where we're going to bust some myths.